Ladies and gentlemen, our conference marks a significant date. 25 years ago, on the 11th of April 1996, the Treaty on the Establishment of a Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone in Africa, Pelindaba Treaty, was opened for signature in Cairo. According to the treaty, states of the region committed themselves not to take any action to possess, develop, manufacture, stockpile, or acquire any nuclear explosive device, as well as to prevent such action by other states on the territory of the nuclear weapon-free zone. This event has become a significant milestone in strengthening the nuclear non-proliferation regime. An entire continent has been declared as a nuclear weapon-free zone. The Pelindaba Treaty is an important element of the system of agreements that form similar zones in other regions of the planet. In Latin America and the Caribbean, the Treaty of Tlatelolco; in the South Pacific, the Treaty of Rarotonga; in Southeast Asia, the Bangkok Treaty; in Central Asia, the Semipalatinsk Treaty, as well as in Mongolia, which has officially declared itself as a nuclear weapon-free state. The Pelindaba Treaty is seen as good evidence of the African states' commitment to achieving the goal of a world free of nuclear weapons, as well as to the nuclear non-proliferation regime and their readiness to contribute to strengthening strategic stability and international security. The establishment of nuclear weapon-free zones is an important element of ensuring international peace. Within this framework, nuclear states provide security assurances to non-nuclear weapon countries against the use or threat of use of nuclear weapons. Russia has signed protocols to the existing nuclear weapon-free zone treaties, thus providing appropriate assurances to more than 100 member states of these zones. It is worth noting that this year we mark our own anniversary related to the Pelindaba Treaty. On the 20th of March 2011, the federal law on ratification by the Russian Federation of Protocols 1 and 2 to the Treaty on the Nuclear Weapon-Free Zone in Africa came into force. Thus, 10 years have passed since Russia undertook its obligation under above-mentioned protocols. The reservation made by Russia when signing these protocols are of purely clarifying nature and in no way affect the interests of those states that respect the letter and spirit of the treaty. Nowadays, 4 nuclear weapon states provide security assurances to the states parties of the Pelindaba Treaty to accomplish the development of the security environment of the region. The ratification of the relevant protocols to the treaty by the United States is required. We call on Washington to demonstrate its commitment to the goals of the nuclear non-proliferation regime and address this important issue without delays. Speaking of nuclear weapon-free zones in general, it is worth mentioning the efforts of the Middle East countries aimed at the establishment of a Middle East zone free of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction, as provided for by the resolution of the 1995 NPT Review and Extension Conference. The first conference on establishing the zone, held in November 2019 in New York, was an important step in this regard. Our country took part in the conference as an observer, actively contributed to its convenient and successful holding. This event became the first practical step in many years towards the creation of WMD-free zone in the Middle East. Ladies and gentlemen, the 10th NPT Review Conference, which was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic, is scheduled for August this year. We consider that only the in-person format could create an environment for open and free exchange of views which would lead to achieving a successful outcome of the conference. In the situation when we face global challenges in the area of arms control and non-proliferation, the state parties of the NPT need to consolidate their efforts to ensure its stability. In particular, it is important to avoid focusing on disagreements and to hold the review conference in the most conflict-free manner, so that it helps to strengthen the nuclear non-proliferation regime and reaffirms the obligations of and rights of states in accordance with the NPT. Thank you for your attention.